cut right here, man. Sean Watts on the track. Zeus, Don One, Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that'll be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't treated like Virgil. Cause when I write raps, it's beyond your price tag. He's a waste of man.
And welcome back to the best damn show in radio, the unpopular review around the Bloxxx wrestling show. I am your host, the best in the world. Yes, baby, Mike Knoxxx. And today, what a plethora of wrestling. What a smorgasbord of wrestling we can discuss today. And OMG, last night, as the title says today, we have proof. We have proof that we are no longer nuggets. We are no longer being flushed away. We are no longer when they don't care about us anymore. We have proof that professional wrestling is back, baby, on this Labor Day. Woo! Welcome to Around the Block with Mike Knoxxx. It's early. Let me just tell y'all right now. Grab yourself a beer and let's talk. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Always room for Jello, and that means when it comes to drinking beer, there's always room to start a good beer in the morning. And my, what a wonderful time. Good morning, Scott. Baby, man, I've been up 24 hours waiting on this show. It's all, I'm all right. What? Dennis? I'm all right, baby. All right, I'm all right. I got you. It's official, like a whistle. All these things in the morning. What's going on, my man? Easy on them effing beats. All elite, baby. Even Jay, my man, D-Block checking in this morning. Corey checking in this morning. Good morning, brother Dennis. Bro, that was the first AEW PPV I purchased, and it was worth every goddamn dollar. Suge motherfucking Knox is in the building. Bro, to get to Daniel Bryan appearance, please. Christopher F. chimes in. When you wake up and you realize last night wasn't a dream, that feeling. Also, it's still hype from last night. I'm hype, Big Mike. And listen, today, I don't know where the fuck DJ is. All right, Scott, I called that some bitch 4 times, and that some bitch ain't answer. And does anybody know what I know when it comes to doing radio? You can't be late. So, yeah, I'm going to make fun of his ass all motherfucking show. Let me put on my goddamn specs so I can see you some bitches and read these comments better. Damn, Adam Cole becoming all elite. Damian Jones also chiming in. What a show we have for you today. But today I will be joined by one of my former co-hosts from the Soul in Sports on Fox Sports Radio, which, by the way, this Thursday night, the hour of power in sports before your NFL joins you. Oh, we are back to Soul in Sports. Myself, Jay Chris, Big Wally, wow. We are back doing football right here for you this football season. But today, I am joined by no other than one of my main brothers. Right there, you know him from Super Black Gaming Bros. Big tips in the chat, as DJ would say, but he ain't here. So right now, you rocking the titles. What's going on, my man, Micah?
Check, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Man, let me tell you something. First of all, you see my hat, right? You know I got hats.
That means hats. You got hats for days.
I am actively choosing violence against any WWE marks today. Actively. So, hey, look, and I got my WWE title on. This is the title that broke the belt cherry that you helped me on the Dirty 30 birthday. So I appreciate that. But I'm glad to be back. And let me go ahead and introduce myself like I normally do. It's me. It's now SBGB. Coming back to you again with the greatest wrestling podcast host
That'd be me. That'd be me. Listen, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. AEW is a problem. And listen, I got to be real. All right? You've known me now for what, 5, 6 years? I will say a lot of things. I have been told, which I don't understand how the fuck that happens. I can make my opinion seem like fact. That's all crazy y'all and take it. It's an opinion. But I've said openly and honestly that Daniel Bella would never leave. And then a couple weeks ago, take off my fucking glasses so I can see me in my damn eyes and know that I said it before Dave Meltzer. Hey, Dave, I'm sorry. It's already early in the morning. And before I have another drink, may I say fuck you to Dave Meltzer, okay? Before anybody else started anything, before anybody else said anything, I broke the news and said Daniel Bryan was going to AEW. You don't believe me? Come get a taste. I know that you heard it from the smell on your face. That ain't mine, that's Nietzsche's. But you get what I'm saying. I said it. I couldn't believe it was going to happen. It happened. We saw it last night. Daniel Bryan appears. Adam Cole, baby, appears. Bray Wyatt, is he next? CM Punk, is he still the best in the world? Let's talk about last night's show. And let's start, well, frankly, where you're supposed to start at. From the best part of the show, and then talk about the rest as it digress. Listen, let's just say it right here. The main event, Christian Cage versus Kenny. I still think he sucks on a microphone, Omega, but he's a beast in the ring. Okay, I gotta keep it real. That finishing move off the top rope ended the match, ended a great, super superb match. And I'm sorry, before I stop flagging a play, and that's on me. May I say also welcome to my stars, icons, and ayatollahs of rock and roll as my social media producer to the stars, King Von Jr. 720 on the Twitter. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. And last night it wasn't regular, but it was scheduled. We got All Out. First of all, let's start right there. Your thoughts on just the pay-per-view in itself, Micah?
Remember in the chat last night, after the pay-per-view came to an end and we had all the debuts, all the views, everything that just went on, my favorite title, though I hate John Horatio Rodriguez Felix Cena, is still.
How can you hate John Cena, though?
I hate John Cena like I hate Tom Holland. There's something about his face. I just want to punch it. So, but when he was Thugonomics John Cena, I love that U.S. title spinner belt. I just do. I know it ain't the best looking belt in the world. It ain't the best looking title in the world, but it connects with me.
I love my spinner title.
I know you love your spinner title. I try to buy it off you, but I try to buy it off of you. But I gave it a 5 out of 5 show. It hit everything that I needed it to hit. It gave me some great matches. It gave me some great promos. It gave me some great action. It gave me some great moments. Who hates John Cena? I hate John Cena. It gave me some great moments. And even with the lowest bar of the match, of the night was just the Big Show. Was just the Big Show match, but that was on purpose because if you got that extra high crowd at the CM Punk and Darby Allen, and then you go right into Kenny Omega, they're gonna die. You got to give them some chance to breathe and go take a bathroom break. So that way it's going to do. But here's the thing: ultimately, right? Mm-hmm. Ultimately, with this great pay-per-view, Now you and I have had many talks offline about what happens when WWE has a great pay-per-view and they don't follow up. Do you believe that based on the equity that AEW has built up, that they're not going to follow up as well with this wonderful pay-per-view? Because they got Rampage and they got AEW and they got AEW Dynamite. What do you expect from the follow-up from this show? Because this show was by far the best pay-per-view I've seen them put on. This was caliber. This is a caliber pay-per-view.
Well, before I give you that thought, let me answer the first question and get that belt grade in there. All right. Yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie, I struggled with this all night. I watched the pay-per-view with Dice Man, and he's going crazy. It was actually it was like a shocking crazy. It was like I came home and my wife had a doppelganger, and they both was gonna give me group sex because I've never seen this man cheer for Daniel Bryan. Okay, never once. Really? I have my shirt on. Okay, I've never seen him cheer for Daniel Bryan. I've never seen him like Adam Cole. I've never seen him really cheer for certain things in the 6 years I've known that fella. And last night he was getting on my nerves, screaming in my damn ear. Okay, because he was screaming so loud. Because he wasn't screaming for them per se. He was screaming for how big it is to professional wrestling.
Yes.
So that's first and foremost. Second, it was hard to watch for me, and I'm being honest. I love Tony Schiavone. I love what JR used to be. But they were the most boring commentary I've ever heard last night during a pay-per-view that was that fucking hot. And I got to be real. When you're watching wrestling, especially not being there live, it is the commentary, it is the color job, it is the play-by-play to keep us engaged more than just a show. So honestly, for that reason and that reason only, I'm still going to give it a 5 out of 5. Intercontinental Bret Hart straps. And here's why. Because they may not be the greatest yet. Okay? And now I'm going to get to Anthony Price's question. But they are the best there is right now. The best they're becoming right now. And can they be the best there ever will be? We shall see. So I'm going to answer Anthony Price's question. Is AEW going to pass WWE? Depending on what you mean by pass. Financially, probably not. Okay? But in the hearts that matters the most to us, to fans, to guys like myself who is a WWE mark. Okay, Naughty, I am still a wrestling mark, but I love the WWE. That's what I've known. That's what I've grown to love. Outside of the Dusty Rhodes times that I've had growing up, the majority of my life has been spent with the WWE.
Facts.
Okay, but without that being said, I've openly said multiple times on multiple shows, almost close to 3,000 episodes of radio, that at any given moment, they broke my heart when that shit happened with Kofi Kingston. Facts. It just really did. And they were going down before then. I know people are going to say that. Yes, they were. But that moment, it broke me. Okay? And where I thought maybe there was an inkling, a pentagon of salt, which was in John Jones's sample for steroids, which doesn't mean shit. Okay? A pentagon of salt hope that they could fix it. They fucked Bianca Belair the same way.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And I will live it forever in infamy by saying the WWE does not like black people. Okay, and so because of that, they've lost my heart forever. And AEW right now is putting those broken heart pieces back together. 5 out of 5 was this pay-per-view, hands down. And we're
Can I answer that question too? Can I answer that question too?
Go right ahead.
So a lot of people, the Big Show was a film match. A lot of people are going to do the whole thing with can AEW pass WWE? Now look, first of all, we got to understand the company structures are different. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of logic here. AEW is privately funded, right? They got advertising and people that they work with and stuff, but they're not a publicly traded company. WWE is a publicly traded company. So there's certain things that AEW can do that WWE used to do to bring in a certain amount of fans and lapsed fans back. Because see, what's going to end up happening is that I don't think Tony Khan is going to let go of his baby. I don't think Tony Khan is going to allow his company to be publicly traded and determined by a bunch of goofball investors that don't know or do know about wrestling for real. But the WWE financially, I think, is going to stay ahead of the game. Here's where we got to see the actual rubber meets the road. It's going to be in the ratings. And when the ratings really start to catch up to what WWE does, because look, if you're talking about all 3 shows across all 3 nights that WWE has, they're still averaging close to 5 million viewers.
Yeah.
They're still averaging close to 5 million viewers. They're still in the top 10 of cable programming, and they were in the top of network TV. As bad as they have been, as Raw has been trash, as NXT is going to become some weird dusty rainbow brand. I don't know what it's going to be.
I think leave that alone. Leave that alone. They needed NXT needed a fucking facelift.
There's nothing wrong with them needing a facelift. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't know if Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon is going to be the answer. If they're active in it,
they're not going to be the answer.
But see, and then I see people say, "Well, SmackDown's the best show." It is. And I ask you a sincere question and let you think about it. If Roman Reigns and the Bloodline was not on SmackDown, is SmackDown Blue Raw?
No.
It's Blue Raw.
No.
SmackDown is Blue Raw. Without Roman Reigns and the Bloodline,
but see, SmackDown is Blue Raw. But and we'll talk about SmackDown.
That's another time. But all I'm saying is 5 million views, right? 5 million views, views in total. So they're still hitting 5 million people per week. If AEW can hit, in my opinion, 2.5 million people every single week, then I'm good. I think that's a success because they're on Wednesday night and they had a 10 o'clock time slot on Friday. My expectation for them is pretty low as far as their ratings. But if they can hit 2 to 2.5 million consistently every single week on their nights, I'm good. I think that's a success for that company for where they are right now because it's only their 3rd year.
Yeah. And to piggyback with that and its success, and I gotta share this earlier because it's got to be that this has to be the executive consultant writing this for Unpopular Opinion show right now. It says 4 out of 5 last night, son. The card was ex-WWE guys going over Big Show, CM Punk, Jericho, and Ruby Soho. And you know what? And I saw a post. I actually had to share it in the group we have, in our group, Micah, because I had to share that somebody wrote this because in all actuality, right, for years, right, this is where it was set up by Daniel Bella. Mm-hmm. You ran with it, so I'm going to use because you use it more than anybody still to this day. Wrestling fans, you're fucking fickle.
Yeah,
fickle. Because when this was the other way around, all you guys said was, "Oh, they're taking everybody from here. They're taking everybody." Well, right now AEW is all WWE X cruiserweight guys that they were not using.
They weren't using them.
That the tribal chief sent away.
That too.
I just thought that was funny. I don't necessarily agree with that, but
between Randy Orton rivalries of recent memory and Roman Reigns tribal chief interference, it's like they keep on kicking people out. But like, and once again, you're saying ex-WWE guys. Okay, so were these guys only homegrown WWE talent that we're talking about?
No,
they weren't. You're telling me someone got a contract from WCW first, and then JR recruited them to come to WWE, and then because they were in WWE for the longest term of their career, they must be WWE guys? None of those guys we're talking about are homegrown. Now, if you want to talk about that real ex-WWE guy, my opinion, if John Cena was to pop up at AEW, that is one of the truest blue WWE guys that you can say, right? Mark Henry will be the straight up WWE ex-WWE guy. Yeah. Christian, I can give you that one for the ex-WWE guy. Punk, Brian, these people Jericho, people made their names long before they got to WWE. And so for you to keep on going back to that argument, it's the ex-WWE guys. So y'all totally forgot what happened when ECW, WCW, and WWE were all battling each other. Y'all forgot the whole curtain call and them showing up like y'all act like contracts and business ain't a thing. Y'all people are weird. Like, it's just weird. I was like, not just fickle, but weird.
Fickle and weird. But let's go to the final match. Okay. That is for the AEW Championship. Mr. Kenny Omega took on the aforementioned that you just said, Christian Cage. And here's my thing with this match real fast. I like to start this one because I watched this entire night, okay? And I got to this match, and I wasn't sure about this match, to be completely honest with you. I wasn't sure about it. But you know what? Once I saw it, it was really good. Mm-hmm. Christian still got it. And listen, for the most part, I know I get a lot of flack from Dice, but he's not here. So guess what, Dice? Just like Dave Meltzer, fuck you. Hold on, you can't see me. Fuck you, because you're not here, right? So I know I get a lot of flack for saying this, but I've always thought Christian was better than Edge. I've always did.
Really?
I always thought Christian was better than Edge. Abso-freaking-lutely, without question, Christian, I've always thought was better than Edge. However, just like Jeff Hardy to Matt Hardy, who I thought Matt Hardy was better than Jeff Hardy. Mm-hmm. Jeff's a bigger star. Edge just has star appeal, and that's the difference between the two. Okay, but I was always a Christian guy. I used to hate Kenny Omega because he was shoved down my fucking throat by indie fans. He was shoved down my throat. Look at him. So
hold on. So Kenny Omega for you is John Cena for me?
I don't know. Have you? Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? But I got to watch him. I got to watch with my own clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. And the man's amazing inside the square circle. He's amazing inside the square circle. However, I do think it's a little corny on the microphone. His
promos are quite corny, and it sounds like that he bangs a load of powder before he actually talks. So yeah, so he
definitely needs Don Callis.
He's definitely a goofball, but I get off on it. It's hilarious.
Overall, I thought the match was very well played, very well timed. The night in itself, leading up to the main event, was even. We always talk as wrestling fans, because that's our job now. We like to debate and bullshit every day. Everything's going to be this way. Well, you know what? No chance in hell that this night was going to fail, and Tony Khan made sure that happened. Yeah. And not only was the match great, the finish was great. You got Adam Cole at the end. You're thinking, here go one swerve. Because we all thought Daniel Bryan was coming. We knew. Well, I openly said on the 22nd he was supposed to show up. I also said on last week's show that because of COVID, he would show up this Sunday. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that did happen. But how he showed up was the part that you had to give Tony Khan. and AEW their credit for, because last night was swerve after swerve after swerve. And now we got Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bella with the Bella Bun.
The Bella Bun.
The Bella Bun shows up. And not only does he show up last night, after the show, in case you missed it, he had some words to say.
Chicago! So, this is just going to be real short. Want me to do a Chaucer soliloquy here? So I will not talk forever. And anybody who says talk forever, I'm going to go out there and punch each and every one of you in the face.
Bloxxx, Freddie Bloxxx.
Okay, I just wanted to say something really quick. And this is about the reason why me and other people want to come to AEW. So this might get a few boos right now. But I loved where I worked before. I did. And I'm very grateful. And I'm one of the few people who loved where they worked before and still left. And there's a couple reasons why. One, the incredible talent that's here in AEW. I think Christian was saying the same thing. But one of the reasons why it makes it so appealing to come to AEW is because of the work these men have done for the last few years. It's because of the people who have been here since day one, from the people who came here early and believed in AEW. I'm talking about Chris Jericho, who came here from day one. I'm talking about John Moxley, who came here. I'm talking about young men and women who were busting their asses on the independent circuit. The AEW gave them a chance, and boy, have these guys delivered! So when you see me here, and when you see CM Punk here, and when you see Christian here, and when you see Ruby Soho here, when you see all these people who I really want you to thank is the original members of AEW. The second reason I came here is because, god damn, you guys are the best fans in the world! So I've been hidden in a trailer in the back and watching the show, and you guys have been great for every single match. And as a performer, you have no idea how much that means to us. So I just want to say thank you, and that's the second reason. Which brings me to the third reason I'm here. I am a wrestler.
And that's where it needs to be stopped at, yo. I am a wrestler. Okay, like I need people to understand something for me, because I'm not the kid that was crying in the crowd, nor will I make fun of that kid for being that who did that.
Or that guy that
But it's real to me, damn it.
Yeah, it's real to me.
But to get goosebumps by having CM Punk come back the way that I did. If anybody watched Entourage, for everybody who doesn't know, that's my favorite show of all time. It's a scene where Lloyd's being excited and Ari screams, "Shut the fuck up, Lloyd!" That was my wife telling me, when my wife and my kids, when AEW, when he came back, like, shut up, we were screaming so loud, right? Last night when Daniel Bryan came back again, I called it, okay, that it was going to happen. It's the feeling of loving wrestling again that I had, that WWE honestly had stripped from me. So that Anthony Price's question or point about why WWE don't like black people, they got Bobby Lashley the champion. No, he's their secondary champion.
He's the secondary.
There has never still been an African American that most blacks will count. There's nothing wrong with The Rock being black. He is half black and half Samoan. They never showed that part of him. They only show the Samoan side. They don't talk about the black side of The Rock. They say his dad is black. That's where it stops at. They still has never been a WWE #1 title run by a black guy. Okay, and what are they doing with that black title over there with Bobby Lashley? He's wrestling Drew McIntyre over and over and over and over. And I have no problem with that kind of stuff, because that's what wrestling has always been historically. But my God, my brothers, can you change it up? Him being champion shows me nothing. You know why? Because the Hurt Business was showing me they cared about black folks a little bit, and they broke them up. Okay, so there's where to answer that question with Anthony. But that match was great. Daniel Bryan being back is great. I want to go to the next match so we can get our opinions out about everything else afterwards. Go ahead. You had something to say?
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. Match of the night, if not match of the fucking year, was the steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team Championships of the world. And tag team wrestling is my favorite wrestling. The Lucha Brothers versus the most overrated, overhyped, overvalued tag team in the history of wrestling. Can we sis and deceased of fucking Young Bucks? Because the Lucha Brothers are here to stay. And the only question I still have to ponder, are they the best tag team in the world? That part I still don't know, but that match was the best tag team wrestling match I've seen in a decade. Your thoughts on that, Micah?
You and King Vaughn. Y'all are terrible saying that they overrated.
Listen, man. I thought listen. You're not gonna laugh.
Hold on. You don't like the spot fest vanilla midgets flopping and turning and super kicking? By the way, stop calling them super kicks. Sorry, man. Those are thrust kicks. Oh, that guy. Yeah, he was weirdo. Anyway, you had to mention WWE guys, but look, bro, the amount and look, and this doesn't necessarily have.
Hold on. There's no war, Michael. There's no war because honestly,
there's no war.
We may try to manufacture a war, but Vince don't give two shits.
Vince don't care. Vince is in his own bubble.
What's happening on Friday on Smackdown? They're on Fox, which is the #1 channel for the NFL. They don't care.
They don't care.
We can think that they care. We can have people back in Connecticut, people in New York telling us, last time Vince was here, Vince brought up Vince came out with the Attitude Era. Yeah. Well, only era Vince has right now is my brokers era. And I gotta worry about my stocks era.
My stocks era.
Okay. Vince don't care about you. He don't care about blacks or whites. How about that? Go ahead.
Oh, I got a way better Vince McMahon than you. Anyway.
Hold on. I gotta have another beer in me first. Come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. But man, this tag team match, like I said, like the reason why this show hit everything for me was because it gave me everything I wanted. That was by far the most entertaining tag team match I have seen for a long time. Just the nature, and by the way, they are the AAA. I believe they're still the AAA tag team champions too.
They are
the AAA tag team champions. So I like the fact that we can get multiple champions from multiple companies all coming together. And I was on Pentagon in Phoenix in the Lucha Underground days. You turned me on
the Lucha Underground.
Man, let me tell you. I'm trying to tell you. If it wasn't, I'm trying to tell you, man, that movie, Robert Rodriguez, brother, went hard. Yeah. And I was seeing the potential and the talent since then. And they have done nothing but solidified for me exactly what I've seen. When it comes to tag team wrestling, whether you love or hate the Young Bucks anyway, they got the best division in the world right now. They got the best tag team division in the world right now.
That was the best. I said in years, right? I said 10. I was probably wrong. It was the Usos versus the New Day.
Yes,
it was the last time I saw a tag team match that damn entertaining. Okay,
and what was that?
5-6 years ago?
Wasn't that Hell in a Cell?
It was Hell in a Cell.
So hold on. You telling me the two best tag team matches we've seen in history, recent history, have all been in cages?
Guess what? I told you. People don't agree with this. This is all mine, Micah. This is mine.
Okay, got you.
Best female wrestling match of all time is Sasha Banks and the greatest women's wrestler.
A little hydration.
Of all the times, Charlotte Flair. Also happened in a cage. Go ahead. I just wanted to get that out.
Usos greater than Young Bucks?
I do think the Usos are better than the Young Bucks.
I think the Usos.
I think the Usos are the best tag team in the world. Let's just go ahead and put that right there.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think the difference is. The difference is not in their wrestling ability. The difference is in their how they carry themselves and how they present themselves. Like the Young Bucks purposely present themselves in a way to troll y'all.
It's like the trolling that bothers me, bro.
I know it's not trolling, but like it's that. Hold on, it's like LeBron James fans. Is that what it is? Like Young Bucks fans? Is it them? Is it them that do it? No? Okay. I'm just making sure. But I wouldn't have thought I would have gotten so emotionally invested in tag team wrestling like I did. They bought me and then when they brought out the tack shoe.
Yeah, that was dope.
Oh my gosh.
Let's keep it a bean. We may not like how they are on the microphone.
Yeah.
And some may not like their matches with their spot fest.
Yeah.
But they put on fucking great matches.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
And I can't take that from them.
They can wrestle a mop and I'll be entertained.
I cannot take that from the Young Bucks. Do their thing. Lucha Brothers do their. Ray Phoenix will go down as the second greatest masked wrestler of all time. Because no one's ever going to pass Rey Mysterio. Let's just keep it real. Rey Mysterio is in our hearts. He's in our spirits.
Yeah.
And his idol is Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Okay. So like he's literally tall Rey Mysterio on steroids.
The way he was, in the words of Scott Thomas, not my words, his. I wanted to steal it, but he said it first. Like I give credit where credit is due. He's the greatest rope walker of all time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and in the way he tiptoed that top of that case last night, like Felix Skipper. Okay, and I love the fact, and you see this all the time in wrestling, Micah. They jump off the cage, right? Like step off. This man flew off the cage. Yeah.
He did what he did with remember the War Games match with Ricochet where he did the 630 off the top?
Yeah.
He did it like he put momentum behind that. I thought he was gonna die because the man is crazy. The man is out of this. The man is insane. You talk about Kenny. I talk about Kenny Omega banging a load of powder before he talks. That boy bangs a load of powder before he does a match because they were blood, guts, sweats, super kicks. And here's what I like about them. A lot of people who don't watch AEW don't realize. This ain't the first time they've had matches with each other, these two people have been wrestling matches for a while now. But see, when you have good chemistry with another good tag team or another person, you know, it's always take two to tango. Dance partner? Yeah. Who's your dance partner? When you know your dance partner so well, you can always give new. I dive into the Bible, right? You can always give new revelation every single time, though it may be the same match. Mm-hmm. See, this is different from how WWE does rematches, where it's the same match. Versus this, it's the same people wrestling, but for some odd reason, you're seeing something new every single time they wrestle. And the right team won. It was about time to come out the Bucks because the Bucks lost. They were losing all sorts of their heat and steam. You know, they lose nothing by losing the titles to the Lucha Bros. And we can get set up for some other people.
They still own the company.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm waiting on now, right?
No.
Proud and powerful.
Oh,
proud and powerful against the Lucha Bros. A Latin fest. Ooh, a Latin slug fest for the ages, baby. And I hope it's at Full Gear. I hope so.
Now, greatest match we've seen, as some of us have said in quite some time, tag team. Shout out to Lucha Bros for that. TNA Championship match, Eddie Kingston versus Miro. If you want to speak, go right ahead. I hate Eddie Kingston with a passion. I don't want to see somebody I can see at the bodega come in the wrestling ring. That's just me. Miro to me is Miro and Hangman Page, Ray Phoenix are the best things in this company, in my opinion, as far as, you know, where I think they should put the rocket strap to their backs. Miro's already their TNT champion. Yeah. Your thoughts on this match? I ain't gonna lie. Eddie Kingston, although I don't like you, it was a very good match. There wasn't a bad match last night at all.
Mike, come on, man. You look. You understand something? Eddie Kingston's supposed to give you and me hope. No, look at his shape. Look at that man. Look how that man's shaped. That man is built. That man is built like a sack of potatoes.
I got Kevin Owens.
No. Eddie Kingston's worse. He's built like a sack of potatoes. You know that Kevin Owens exercised, and God dang it, Eddie Kingston gets me hurt. If
Eddie Kingston can't wrestle, bro,
it doesn't matter. If Eddie Kingston can get on a whole company by shooting on Sour Patch Kids, barbed wire death matches, exploding death matches that went stupid, and Jesus, then Mike Knoxxx to be in wrestling, goddaggit. He gives me hope that I can see you in the wrestling ring. So just don't hate.
Just tell me to call me, because there's people who have my job that shouldn't have my job at these wrestling
They definitely. You should have these people jobs.
And I like my man Derek comment earlier when we were showing it during the clips of Daniel Bryan. He said, if you notice, WWE fans don't scream WWE.
They don't.
It's always been an indie kind of thing because they're the Lakers, they're the Yankees of professional wrestling. That was his comment. Right. I thought I was share it with that. Also, that happened. The doctor was in the house. Dr. Britt Baker beat Chris Statlander. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna say this:
the alien gimmick.
Where the hell did that burst from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD? You know what it was? She knew her man was gonna show up later, and she wanted to make sure she had that thing right, Skip.
Yes,
the doctor, baby, went off last night. Your thoughts on that match? I thought Dr. Britt Baker, I mean, she's not the best women's wrestler of all time because that's Charlotte Flair, but she rocks the greatest women's championship of all time, in my opinion. That AEW championship by far is the best women's title I've ever seen. And I know this because I'm a belt king.
You're a belt king. The match itself, right? One of the best matches that Britt Baker has put on so far. The psychology was great in it. I love it. Now, here's the thing that really fed me that Adam Cole was coming that night.
Oh, don't get mad. That's the truth, Dennis. You're a Yankee fan. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to be a Yankee, Lakers, Celtics fan. They win all the fucking time.
Yeah, easily be a 2000s Patriots fan. Oh yeah, gosh, easy to be a 2000s Patriots fan. You know, anyway, so bandwagon.
Some of the championship they stole.
Well, the first three they stole. I think the last ones he actually won. Like the first three were definitely shenanigans. I don't count Deflategate. You know, I'm a Colts fan, so when I heard that they snitched, I was like, Anyway, so but Britt Baker delivers once again, and like I said, and look, this is a great showing for Chris Statlander, right? Because they're giving her the respect that she's due for being an undefeated challenger. Hold on, an undefeated challenger? When you're showing me that wins and losses actually matter, and that you're actually tough and strong. You showed it on Rampage. Show how strong she is. You showed it when she was fighting against Nyla Rose. Show how strong she is, and they keep doing that. And so Britt Baker was doing things to try to put her down, and it took the combination of all her best moves to finish the job. And and once again, right, undefeated challenger. Listen to the psychology. It makes sense that she wouldn't tap because she was that freaking strong. Hello, she passed out. She just ran out of gas. So Britt Baker finished the job, but she ain't like, it leaves enough room for if there's another match down the line, we can still get something out of it. Kind of like how they did with the Thunder Rosa, Thunder Rosa. She beat Thunder Rosa the first time. Thunder Rosa beat her in the unsanctioned match, and now there's some room for that. I thought Thunder Rosa was going to win that other match that we'll get to in a minute, but I'm happy they're letting that sit. Because that third match that we're going to get hopefully will be that. Oh man, it's going to be great. So I think it was fantastic. The Pittsburgh Sunrise. She did good. Britt Baker's improving every single day going week, and she's already dying on the mic.
But I like this comment by Derek Mitchell. I want to share it again. Britt Baker is the Roy Jones of the women's division. She's a solo act as a great AEW women's division still needs work, and it does. And I agree with that. And I personally, I don't care what nobody say. I think Ruby Riott, a.k.a. Ruby Soho, was completely overrated. I said it. We'll talk about that later.
I agree.
And this part right here. First of all, going back to the Mexican, her name is Statlander.
Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa. One of the best matches I've ever seen. So that's what you're talking about, Thunder Rosa. Because I thought Statlander's not because I thought.
No, she's an alien. That's different.
Okay, she's the alien. Okay, and I want to go back to Lucha Brothers for a second. I don't understand a word those rappers were saying, but damn, that entrance was awesome.
I was like,
because we Mexicans. And it's a black man who loves to say, I'm black and I'm proud. I love the fact that I'm a Mexican. Because you can say what you want to say about Mexicans, right? 3 things we know to be true. They work their asses off, they're fighters, and they never give up. Okay? And that is so great. Yeah, I said over fucking rated.
Yeah, Ruby Soho is like
completely overrated, dog.
I gotta agree with that.
I didn't like her that much in WWE. When she got fired and it was happening with her, everybody was crying and bitching and moaning. That's what wrestling fans do the most. Wrestling fans love to bitch and complain the most. I was like, so what?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Granted, it was kind of wrong the way she did.
Yeah, I'm not saying
it was kind of wrong the way she was done, but it's like she's kind of when I see Ruby Riott, like put like this, right? When you talk about Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley over this last year. Yes, the machine got behind them because that's what they do with the people they didn't want to push. But they also did things to make sure that but they also did things to kind of give me a reason to want to watch them. They have an appealing star quality about them. Ruby Riott, she came in, she has a unique look and things like that. And she was given what she was given, and the connection with the audience just wasn't there. Now, granted, that could just be the WWE audience. Maybe she's more built for the indie crowd. Not everyone works in every company. Some people work in other companies better than they do. Guess what? When we talk about the weirdo earlier, we talk about these guys can be both ex-WWE guys and Impact guys and all kinds of guys. They can be ex-everything. Yeah, whatever. So when you have to, if you get to the biggest stage and you make your name on the biggest stage, that means you were able to connect in all facets of your career. All right. So Daniel Bryan connected in everywhere he went. CM Punk connected everywhere he went. Christian connected some in WWE, had to go to Impact to really nurture his talent as a main event player, came back to WWE, and then we saw the real Christian Cage. Like sometimes for these people, it takes time. So my hope is just like what the comment said, I hope Ruby gets a chance to change my mind. Wrestling ain't gonna be the problem. I need to connect. I connect with Dr. Britt Baker. I connect with Chris Statlander because, good gosh, that lady is strong. I connect with someone. I connect with Thunder Rosa because
I call her the strongest women's competitor when we know that Nyla Rose might be the.
I ain't going down that road. I honestly fervently believe that factually you can really pound for pound that Chris Statlander is the strongest woman on there.
First of all, Christopher Epps. and I said your whole damn name, Christopher.
Uh,
This is my damn show. This is my damn opinion. And yes, first of all, if anyone thinks that Ruby Riott is better than Charlotte Flair, and I love a person saying their opinions are opinions, and I think it's stupid, rude, and ignorant to say what I'm about to say, but sometimes I can be stupid, rude, and ignorant, then you're stupid.
yeah.
If you think that Ruby Riott is better than Charlotte Flair in that squared circle on the microphone, because this is what wrestling fans always seem to forget. Professional wrestling, and I put pro wrestling in there, and sports entertainment wrestling, because they go hand in hand. Hence why I said today I will prove that pro wrestling still has entertainment in it. If you cannot draw a story, if you cannot talk on the microphone, if you cannot draw heat and wrestle, then you're not a professional wrestler or good. And those are things you have to be considered the greatest.
You have to be,
or even considered good. Say what you want to say about anything. If you don't like Charlotte, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's your opinion. Like mine thinking she's the GOAT is my opinion. That's fine. But it's a very bad opinion. And I shouldn't have called you stupid because that was wrong. And I apologize. And I don't normally apologize. All right. But it's very, you're very misleading because it's to think in any word that wrestling matters that Ruby Soho, that's her name now, so we're going to not be disrespectful and call her Riott, is better than Charlotte Flair in no aspect.
No, it's just not.
She can't talk better than her. She doesn't even draw heat.
She's not better than any of the four horsewomen.
None.
Sorry, she's just not.
None.
Now I would say
I don't like Becky that much.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Once like I say, I hope that she's able to give us. I hope she's able to give us and change our minds. Right? I don't mind my mind being changed. But right now, out of the women wrestlers, no. Great athlete, but a horrible wrestler. Really? A horrible wrestler? Oh, you must have thought that Nia Jax match was a normal Charlotte match. No, that's not a normal Charlotte match. That was Nia Jax being trash. That's like saying Chris Paul was better than Magic Johnson.
Why you gotta bring up Chris Paul for, man? That's
me.
Right. Let's talk about what the night was supposed to be about, right? We get Daniel Bryan. We get Adam Cole, baby. But the night was supposed to belong, and this is where AEW gets all the fucking credit. This is being built for all it's worth to be about CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
7 years since we saw CM Punk in a squared circle. Dare I say, was it overshadowed by Adam Cole, baby, in the yes that is Daniel Bella Bryant? Because the best in the world won his match. He was not going to lose in Chicago. Yeah, he was not going to lose to Darby fucking Allen.
No one's going to lose Allen. No.
However, it did look a step off. It took him quite about 15, 20 minutes to get into the match. And I mean by saying this, that before we could admire and respect what Roman Reigns has become in the squared circle, and I mean by saying that is how his matches are, where he talks so much trash in the ring, which actually makes his matches what they are. CM Punk did that a lot. And for like the half of this match, CM Punk didn't say a word. He didn't make a gesture. He just wrestled. And then he saw him coming out of his shell, and he became the Punk that some of us love and some of us like. It became, Chicago made, and Chicago was cheering for him last night. He had to win this match. He did win this match.
Yeah.
Is he still the best in the world? I say no. The moniker, absolutely. But the best in the world name is Roman, and his last name is Reigns. But last night, the best in the world still, with all that star power on that show, with us not starting off with him in this show.
Yeah.
He was still not the Lucha Brothers match. Let's take that aside. That was so fucking incredible. I'm erasing it from the card. It's by itself. It was so damn good.
It's his own pay-per-view.
It's his own pay-per-view with the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. But take that out. The next best match of the night was CM Punk versus Darby Allen, in my opinion. I thought CM Punk showed he still had it. I thought Darby Allen, this little fucker is going to get hurt. Okay. He has to be the skinniest guy I've seen with so much athleticism I've ever seen.
But that's his thing, right? Like, see, the whole thing about Darby Allen what makes him special, and that's why it's the perfect first opponent for CM Punk, is because Darby Allen is literally Steve-O if Steve-O actually knew how to wrestle. And he can ragdoll himself like crazy. And so a guy like CM Punk who kind of needs to get acclimated back to the ring doesn't mean he wasn't training anything, but when you're in the is a sport entertainer and pro wrestling entertainer. Yes. So when you have the what's that word I want to say?
You hate CM Punk. Shut up.
Oh yeah. So no, you good. So when you have the good combination of someone who could bump like crazy with someone who's just coming back, they had to come back to that atmosphere, had to really understand that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And so what I liked about it was this. Perfect opponent, perfect dance partner to get them started. It wasn't a heel babyface dynamic because some people feel like they always got to play a role in these matches. It doesn't. It could just be two guys who just want to, see if they can hang with each other, right? And then we get what we wanted to see the whole time, which is the story of CM Punk working his way back into the moment, working his way back into what made him great. And he has this guy who's pushing him and pushing the right buttons and like, hold on, I got to remember. Who am I? I watch a lot of anime, so I see that moment where it's like, I gotta remember who I am. I'm CM Punk, and he just go ahead and finish the job. It was a great match. I love it. I loved every minute of it. So, no, he's not the best in the world. I don't think Roman Reigns is the best in the world. He's the best thing on TV, but I don't think he's the best in the world. And
so let's define real fast. All right, and Huggo. I love you, but fuck you too right now. Because I'm gonna fuck you trip this morning. Okay. Best in the world, right? Does not mean best in-ring performer.
Facts.
As I've been teaching you guys and educating you guys, as this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan, what pro wrestling is.
Storyline. Hashtag wrestling is storyline.
The bloodline is the best storyline in professional wrestling, followed by the biggest star in professional wrestling today. Women love him. Children love him. Guys hate him and want to be like him. Roman Reigns. I don't give a fuck if you like him or not. I don't care if you thought what he did in the Shield and he stayed still or whatever. If not, I don't care if you booed him after WrestleMania 35 in Orlando or not. What he is currently doing right now in that squared circle, because how he tells a story in the ring.
Yes.
How his promos go, his storylines go. He's the best in the world. So you don't have to agree with it, but understand it's the truth. Because you can love Omega, you can love Punk, you can love whoever, AJ Styles, you can love whoever you want to love. But if you're not doing 5 things in wrestling, that's all that fucking matters. That's selling merchandise. That's why the Hurt Business broke up, because you Negroes wasn't buying their merchandise. And MVP himself, not just Mike Knoxxx, who tells you every fucking week, he told you himself that was the case.
Really? It was just that?
They wasn't selling merchandise. And no, I think, and there's no comparing CM Punk to Roman Reigns. That's not what I was doing there. So that's another thought when we have this wrestling.
Oh well, yeah, it's a straw man.
You try to use your own words. That's a
straw man. You never said that CM Punk. You never compared the two. You're just talking about who has the best overall.
Who is the best in the world storyline?
And that is true. And now look, now that's the truth. Now that is the truth, because the ratings are showing it, right? The ratings are showing it. And the ratings are showing it, the merchandise sales are showing it, and the fact that he still gets the same reaction and he does not feel stale. Had a little bit of a rundown a little bit when
my
the
daughter calls
him
Ramen Reigns, by the way. My daughter calls Ramen Reigns and Bobby Ashley.
Oh, Bobby Ashley. Oh no. But anyway, so I think that once again, right, just like what Roman Reigns said in his
I would completely disagree with that, Derek. I would personally completely disagree with that, because even though I've always hated Ric Flair and he did everything that was supposed to be done, he could never be the best in the world because he was not in the biggest company in the world. And no matter, and you someone, Derek, who posts a lot about that comparison, right? There's a difference between what we love in our hearts versus what's real. Do I still love WWE? I'm not in love with them anymore. I still love them, but I'm not in love with them anymore. But right now, I'm in love with AEW and what they're giving me. But to call a spade is who's number one in the box office. That's what people gotta understand.
It's Roman.
That's why fans get mad that how come it took Black Panther to finally be nominated for an Oscar when it should have been Winter Soldier. Because the Hollywood people that are the artsy fartsy people say, well, a comic book movie can't be better than some movie no one ever seen. Well,
exactly.
The box office fucking shows you
it keeps
who's
telling
the
you
biggest movie of the year. It's the numbers. Numbers
Exactly.
don't lie. Fans and other people do. But numbers don't. Go ahead.
No, you're right. But once again, we're going back to that thing where you have to understand that you have to understand who brings the biggest draw. And though I disagree with his comments that CM Punk can't move the needle, maybe not for what the WWE needs, but he's moves the needle for what AEW needs, because it's a different type of audience from the trained WWE audience. Roman Reigns right now, I don't think he's the best in the world overall, but it ain't like that. But what you said, Mike, was rooted in actual factual evidence more so than just a basic opinion. It is Roman Reigns. He is the top guy. Not my top guy, but I love watching him every Friday night.
You've done this show with me. When have I never not, mentioned WWE's flaws? I think that I always have, and you motherfuckers just don't hear it.
Nah, the way I think I just one of those things where sometimes where it'll be like a compliment sandwich where you'll say, yeah, I love WWE, and then it's like, well, they did this one thing that was wrong, and then you'll comment on the other end. Sometimes it'll come off as a compliment sandwich where you put the negative in the middle that's surrounded around compliments.
I like sandwiches.
I like sandwiches too, but I gotta stop eating all that bread, man. Those carbs getting at me.
Carbs do get to you.
I mean, I'm 35. Okay. I'm 35 next week. I can't do this. I can't think of her.
And here's what get me also about brothers comment here. WWE Mark, I openly say that all the time. That doesn't fucking offend me when people call me that. You know why? Because I have over 3,000 episodes and some motherfuckers got 10. Some motherfuckers have 59. Some people have a 99. I have a billboard with my company's logo listed in the UK thanks to Grand Body P and the best damn show in hip hop radio, Wild One Radio.
Nice.
Okay. I'm not a mark. I'm a wrestling mark. Okay. And if fans who have been listening and tuning in for over 13 years still don't understand that, well, I'm going to keep saying the same thing. Don't like it, listen anyway, but you're misfucking understood and you guys don't listen. Moving on. Chris Jericho, MJF. Wow. I also said this going in, and I'm going to say this because wrestling fans will say this and they go, oh, it was boring because it was predictable. I picked every fucking winner last night.
You did.
I picked every winner.
Did you hit it on a sports book though? Because they actually have sports books for wrestling shows.
No, we have a little group thing and things like that we do, and I picked that. And here's why I said, and I switched Jericho. I thought Jericho was going to lose until I saw that promo on Wednesday night.
Same.
When you saw that promo on Wednesday night, I said,
I don't know
no
if I'm
way.
going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, why? They should have ended it.
It just blew my mind. And I
You
said,
should've
okay,
lost.
I knew right there he wasn't going to listen. Or you know what I mean? He wasn't going to lose. So last night, shout out to that one. I don't want to dwell on the match once we've been here a little bit too long. It is Memorial Day. I mean, Labor Day. I can say Memorial Day. Labor Day. And I got drinking and partying to do. All right. So
I got grass to cut.
You got grass to cut.
I got grass to cut.
Jericho and MJF. Listen, MJF intro, biggest swerve of the night. Everybody thought it was Jericho. He got the countdown to the millennial countdown. Yeah. And he says this is his last match. It was MJF. Can I say, you know what? It's my show to say what I want to say. But dare I say, is he the most hated man in professional wrestling since the likes of Roddy Piper and Ric Flair? Like, seriously. Like, we love him because we like heels, but we hate him because he's a dickhead.
See the difference between here when we talk about biggest heels in wrestling right now, right?
Yeah.
The difference between him and Roman is simply this: Roman's cool. So I'm perfectly fine. With Roman being a bad guy because he exuded that from the beginning. He never came off as a white meat babyface good guy.
Never.
MJF. You know how I have that hate for John Cena and Tom Holland? I want to punch in the face.
Yeah,
I want to punch MJF in the face. He is the perfect.
I don't know why you want to punch Tom Holland in the face though.
Just Tom Holland deserves to get punched in the face. This is the conversation that time on when we talk about a few good geeks. But anyway, so yeah. So I personally feel like that swerve. Like I thought that was going to happen when CM Punk came back. The Rampage episode when CM Punk was supposed to debut. I thought that was going to be MJF doing the best in the world and him coming out and then starting to feud with CM Punk. But they had to finish the thing off with Jericho. That was great. I really did think I was watching. I was like, oh, Jericho got this millennium. That son of the bastard of a barrel of fish guts and gravy swerves me. Ooh,
You know I don't like bologna.
You know we don't like bologna.
No, I don't like. But
it was perfect, but the wrong guy won. The wrong guy won. I'm sorry. I mean, I know, granted, whatever. The wrong guy won. It should have been it. Like they should have gave this to us because a lot of times people were saying that this was going to be MJF's version of the Jericho beating the Rock and Stone Cold the same night. Like a lot of people were, some of the pundits were comparing it to that. As far as what was going to be his claim to fame, overall fame, that was going to stamp him as he was going to be the next guy to really take that mantle and move on to the upper echelons of the card. So I would have loved to see MJF win and finish this thing off, but now we got to get the fifth match. Why? I don't want a fifth match. Like, leave me alone. I don't care.
Is it over?
Chris Jericho won. MJF is 3-1 against the guy. You think MJF is going to let that roll? They're probably going to keep that story going. That's the pinnacle and the circle thing should have ended a long time ago.
It should have been. That's why they all came at the end of what they did. So it could possibly be over. And I'm with you, Derek. I think those early years in Mid-Atlantic and Georgia Championship Wrestling is to me was some of the best Roddy Piper work that was there. So I agree with that. Great show last night. Jason Baker also chiming in. Unpopular view, which you say Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker is good for Ruby because she will lose and they don't want Britt Baker to lose the title. I think Britt Baker's not losing it to you because somebody in there is worthy of her, but I think all good things must come to an end. And
she's not losing to Thunder Rosa.
And I think that's where that moment happens in that moment. Rest of the card, Paul White beats QT Marshall. The buy-in was the pre-show. Happened with Jurassic Express beat Matt Hardy's team. I'm no longer liking Private Party. I thought Private Party was going to be really good, and it's just I don't know. I don't like what they've done with Private Party.
I don't like what they've done with Private Party either. Like, and where's the Butcher been? Where the heck is the Butcher?
I don't like the guy, but I love the name.
Yeah, I mean, the guy. I mean, he's Dr. Robotnik. That's a wrestler. I like the look, but anyway, he's Dr. Robotnik. I'm a gamer, so
Moxley holds us down.
Yeah,
he does his thing last night as well.
Did you know about Minoru Suzuki? Did you watch enough to care about that?
Listen. I'm glad you brought it up. Listen.
Go full screen. Go full screen. You need it. Go full screen.
What the? Can somebody please explain to me how y'all keep cheering for people y'all know y'all ain't never fucking heard of? Okay, and then if you heard of this person, you know damn well y'all ain't seen that motherfucker wrestle. Okay, now I'm not saying I haven't because I have, but you know what? I also don't do. I don't fake like I pay attention to Japanese wrestling like y'all wrestling fans do. Y'all know damn well you ain't watching Japanese wrestling as many as y'all say y'all do. I'm not saying all y'all, not saying a few you don't, but the majority of the motherfuckers cheering. I don't know. Come on, stop the bullshit, man. This man was not bigger than Heath and Thunder Lager. This man is not bigger than the Great Muta. This man is not bigger than oh God, fuck, I feel his name was in the NWO. Okay, Soto or whatever. Help me out. But you know what I'm talking about? There's been so I get it, and he's old as fuck.
Yeah. Moxley,
I don't get how y'all guys
all of Moxley's stuff, all of Moxley's wrestling matches against any New Japan talent has been all older, aged.
Chono, thank you.
Yeah, Chono. So he's been doing is wrestling the old guys because the one guy he wants to wrestle who ain't ever available because he's actually good and too busy being a champion is Tanahashi. So and no, I don't know. Not bigger than Antonio Inoki. I don't know enough about Japanese wrestlers from the standpoint of
I get Wrestle Kingdom. And here's my thing even about Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my God, y'all, it's 4:00 in the morning. Let's go to watch Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my God. Wrestling does not matter without storyline. It doesn't.
What story?
Y'all don't know them damn stories. You know how I know you don't know them stories? Because you don't speak Japanese.
There you go.
My kids are obsessed with anime. My one son be trying his best at the top of his lungs, like I was sing Beyonce's. I said it.
No.
Okay, at the top of his lungs. I'm like, what are you saying? I'm singing a song. You don't know Japanese? Yes, I do. I hear the song enough.
Sure he does. You don't even know what they saying. I don't know what they say. I've been watching anime for 30 years and I still don't know what they saying.
My kids will tell you they know Japanese because they watch enough anime.
Lies. The lies. So here's where I am with this, right? John Moxley, as usual.
And again, I said, Jason, I feel you. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking that. But that crowd,
we're talking about the reality. The reality is that Chicago crowd was not unusual.
They have no idea who the fuck this.
They was like, it's a Japanese guy with a weird hairdo, and they're fighting each other.
And JR said Big Show several times last night.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course he said Big Show several times. Of course, JR, we love you, man. Anyway, but so here's my thing, right? I don't mind it. I heard the name before. I heard the lore of the man before,
and that's recent.
We're gonna that was recent, and we're gonna have a good time seeing a hard hitting match. But guess what? It's exactly what Mike Knoxxx just said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what Mike Knoxxx just said. You don't have to like it, but you know it's truth. As my face gets really, really big right now, no one cares about Suzuki because we don't know. We are Americans. We got red, white, and blue in our veins. We know who John Moxley is.
Spell the right way. 3 Ks.
Oh, well, yeah, it is. Yeah.
3 Ks.
America can. But anyway, you can't tell me that you actually care about this match. I care about John. I care about John Moxley. I care about the former Dean Ambrose and what he's going to put on. I care about the strong, hard-hitting style that I see from time to time when I see good matches. I saw this style in Lucha Underground. I've seen this style many times in AEW. I occasionally will see it come out in WWE when Nia Jax and Charlotte shoot on each other. But, it's something that I'm interested in as far as a match. I don't care about Suzuki. I just don't. It's not going to make me watch. It's not going to make me watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's not going to make me watch New Japan Strong. I watch when I get a chance to. I watch Raw. I suffer through Raw. I tune into NXT. I love watching my AEW. I will sit through and wait for a good Roman Reigns storyline to happen on Smackdown because Smackdown is just blue Raw without Roman Reigns. And then I'll watch Rampage. That's what I watch. I occasionally watch Impact.
We'll finish that in a second. I think without Roman Reigns, they're still better than Raw. I do. But Elvis is saying this. I heard this from Scott last night, and I have seen people mentioning this. Best pay-per-view in 10 years or longer. But
he said wrestling. He said wrestling.
Wrestling pay. Well, it is, bro. Even saying that, I don't want to say yes or no to that right away. But I can say I didn't feel that way. I know a lot of people. I know Michael had it. Dicey was not here. He had it. Scott had it. I'm going to say something through all this kudos I've given AEW so far today and what I've been doing on this show for the last 3 weeks. Historically, I do not start off with somebody that's not a WWE program, whether it's NXT, Raw, SmackDown. That's where I typically start. And we still, in an hour and 7 minutes, have yet to still go to any other show. Okay?
No, I don't care about any other shows.
So that's different. But I can say this, and despite the hate that may come after I make this comment, it's a true. It's not just an opinion. It's a very well popular opinion. It's not fact, but it's the majority of the popular opinions here. They're still not making you feel like when you would feel for WWE WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it wasn't better than this year's WrestleMania because it was. Mm-hmm. It was better than last year's, obviously. But 17 or 30, I'm just saying, like, I may have the numbers off, whatever, but 10 years, I got to really go back and think about that because I don't think so. I think it had more surprises than every other one, but I don't think it was the best wrestling pay-per-view in the last 10 years.
Because now you have to say, okay, so that means it was better than NXT takeovers where we had those fantastic matches with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano, the DIY implosion, the tag team matches that main evented shows when it came to FTR when they were FTR and what you call it? The revival and DIY and stuff like
NXT Brooklyn.
Yeah, NXT Brooklyn with Bailey and Sasha Banks Iron Woman match.
NXT Classics, King Von.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, for the last 3 years, put it in context. But you know me, when I argue, I like to argue in context. For the last 3 years, it is one of the best pay-per-views that there is in wrestling for American wrestling companies. It's not the best, though. Would I put it in the top 10? I could put it in the top 10. I could put it in the top 10 because this is the best show they put on. But as far as the best in the last 10 years, I'm sorry. I can answer. I can say a definite no on that right now. Sorry.
It is. I said that.
On the line, Masahiro Kono, Tajiri, Nakamura.
Yeah.
Gosh, Nakamura.
No, he's right. And that's my point with that, Derek.
Yeah.
And thank you for posting that. That's my thing. Like, I heard of those guys before coming to North America. Yeah. I can't say I heard this guy. I heard of him, but not nowhere near like I've heard of these other guys. What's the guy who was the champion over there? They're John Cena and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okada.
That's a fucking name. You want to make some pops? Bring Okada to America.
I was waiting. I actually thought that Okada was going to be coming over here. Like, that's the one I want to see. I want to see on American television.
That was funny.
I know. Well, that's funny.
No, JR last night fucking up all their names.
He did, because he knew him from a different company. But I want to. Your microphone. I'm gonna say your microphone. I want to see the biggest names from the promotions, right? Because like people bring up like, well, yeah, ROH got the best wrestling on TV. Do you know that ROH wish they can do what Rampage does?
Yeah.
As far as their ratings and numbers, no one cares. Impact Wrestling got some great stuff on TV. Do you know that Impact wishes they can do what just Notice I'm just saying Rampage. I'm not even talking about Dynamite. I'm talking about Rampage. They want to be able to do what Rampage does. Get on a real daggone television network and we can see these other people. But until then, y'all need to be going ahead and giving Tony Khan all of your daggone Infinity Stones so that he can make his gauntlet so that way he can snap all y'all to his promotion. Because that's the only way y'all going to get in your house and anyone going to know who y'all are.
I'm going to still disagree with you there, Jake, on your comment. I get it from bell to bell. It was a good show. I think, as a matter of fact, I know wrestling fans, we live in the moment. Yeah. It's a reason why I never do a pay-per-view any longer after a pay-per-view, a show after a pay-per-view, because your emotions are different. You're in the moment. Come out of the moment, let it sink in, sit down, and really think about that. And I would bet you a hosting spot on any one of my shows that has not been a pay-per-view in 10 years.
It's not true.
It's just not. I know. First of
all, his window's already too long.
The commentary alone can tell me it wasn't the best. And I know for a fact, like you just said, them NXT Brooklyns,
Brooklyn, Dallas.
When my kids are coming home and they're calling me saying, that's going to be better than WrestleMania.
Yes.
Because, again, in the heart of hearts, whether you hate WWE, love WWE or not, WrestleMania is a big fucking deal.
WrestleMania is the biggest deal. How many times have we had arguments over the chat where we was like, man, this NXT TakeOver is going to be better than the WrestleMania card? No, it's not. And it's like, no, it's yeah. It's going to be there. It's going to be that. Briscoe Brothers, the 11-time champions, best tag team in the world you never heard of. Ain't he a friend of the show?
Well, yeah, he's a friend of the show, and, that's the Delaware crew that's just chiming in.
I would love to see the Briscoe Brothers against the
No. When I say that, Jake, I don't mean that. So however you took that, I'm being honest. Wrestling fans, we are emotional. Whether you want to agree with that,
we are fickle and emotional.
And we are fickle and we're emotional, and we live in a wrestling moment, right? I just say let that sink in and answer that question for me 2 weeks down the road, if you feel that way. That's what I'm trying to get across. Match of the night was the cage match. You're late to the program, so maybe if you acknowledge me and been on time, Elvis, you would know that. What's your top WWE pay-per-views? You gotta come back on WWE. Again, in the moment, in the emotion, asking a question. I will answer that question. Tune in next week, Anthony Price, and I'll make sure I answer that question for you. Okay. Ciampa and Gargano made NXT what it is. I don't know about that.
They were a part of the cog. They were part of the cog. But I would say if we had to talk about size of cogs in the clock, I would say they're about
you better put Finn. You better put Finn, Adam Cole, Joe, Kevin Owens,
Nakamura, Sami
Zayn.
All that stuff happened before DIY got there.
What is that?
He said, "But cheers your way."
Oh yeah, appreciate it, Brandon. Let's go on. We gave our overall for the show. We gave everything for the show. Just again, what a show. Love the comments below. Let us know how you feel about it. Just real fast, because you asked earlier in the program, what's the fallout from this? That is the biggest question. Yeah. Where do they go here? And 2 hours ahead of you ain't my fault. You know what? I do love the Midwest and California and all that good shit. So, you know what? Have a beer for me, Elvis. Today I'm drinking Miller High Life because it was on sale, and they are the champagne of beers. Okay, don't judge me. Okay. The fallout, and I'm gonna get to the fallout in 1 second. That's right. Fuck Dice. for not showing up. Okay. Again.
I'm dice light, as you see with my title on. So.
I'm gonna put this out there. Raw to me wasn't horrible last week, but again, it's Raw. Okay. They're trying, but they fail, in my opinion. Thank you. And thank you. And I hope you come back, man. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever it takes you to come back. I appreciate you. Smackdown to me, right? Moving Rampage
was fantastic.
The best show of the week, wrestling week, not counting the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think SmackDown was still better than Dynamite, because Dynamite as Dynamite was from an in-ring performance standpoint. I get that.
Yeah.
What
the
Bloodline itself is doing,
it's fantastic.
It's just incredible to wrestling storyline. You don't have to like it or whatever, but the storyline, first of all, the shirt's the hottest shirt in professional wrestling history. Okay, it's like the cover of a freaking Master P album. I love it. Okay. Second, the interaction between Paul, the Usos meant to do that. That Roman tells them to do that to Paul. Was Paul really trying to get in contact with Brock? We saw Brock got in contact with him. He wouldn't let him talk. He's in the middle. Look how Paul Heyman just stares at Roman when he talks. He's watching TV and Roman, he's just staring at him like, my tribal chief. I'm afraid. I don't know what to do. You might whip my ass. What is going on? It is the greatest storyline right now in professional wrestling. It's the greatest story being told in wrestling right now. I should say the greatest storyline told in professional wrestling. I didn't mean to say that. Just the best line in wrestling today is what I was trying to get at. SmackDown was an amazing, amazing show. And you mentioned, and that's why I wanted to get to SmackDown before we got out of here and wrap up with what we think, AEW is going to go next. I want to get SmackDown out there before we didn't talk about everything else. You remove the Bloodline. Is it Raw the same? It was what you asked.
It's Blue Raw.
It's Blue Raw.
Without the Bloodline,
I think that you're
Blue Raw better wrestling.
I think you still have Bianca, Sammy, Kevin, my man Corbin's back, although I hated what they did to him in the first place.
I like that, Gary. Leave him alone.
You know what? Fuck. You might be right. It's the Blue Raw. Roman Reigns is keeping WWE afloat right now. And I've said that openly and honestly. I'm going to continue to say it. And I said this a couple weeks ago. You get Daniel Bryan, you get CM Punk, you got a goddamn problem. Okay? Yeah. And right now, Vince has a goddamn problem. Yes. All right? Because you got these two men. Okay, you got their best friend Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can put all that together, and unfortunately, guys, the biggest story still you will see in the headlines will be
the Bloodline.
The Bloodline.
It will be.
The question I asked, and I've asked a couple weeks ago, and I said this a couple weeks ago. You give me Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, followed by a Bray Wyatt. WWE's really in trouble. They're already in trouble from the standpoint they've lost certain fan bases.
Yes.
When you lose someone like Mike Knoxxx, right, from their ranks, that's a big fan base I represent.
Yes.
And for certain wrestling fans, right? I have friends that make fun of me still for thinking I'm in a box with WWE. I've never been in a box. I'm just not as critical or critical and bitchy as some of my friends are.
You're not
when it comes to wrestling.
You're just not fickle. Yeah.
So, but without the Bloodline, they're in trouble. And so therein lies why Friday Night SmackDown this coming 9/11 will be the biggest show that you got Brock. They're calling it a Super SmackDown.
Yep.
Brock showing up, the man showing up, Charlotte Flair, the greatest women's wrestler. All time.
I laugh every time.
They still may have the money to be number one. They're still number one because they have the Bloodline, but in our heart of hearts, they're not any longer. We shall see. Russell's in a good place, Micah. Before we move on and tell you what we think is going to happen in AEW before with these storylines, your thought of SmackDown and Raw, if you can. Raw to me wasn't worth my time to even share it.
So Raw,
And you're right. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
No, you good.
The teasing of the Demon Finn Balor was fucking amazing.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and I missed it. I responded to you and said, "What did I miss?" I had to go back and watch it, baby.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah, right. That's so good. That's a good one. That's a good one. So like the wrestling WWE Raw, Raw was on this week. I don't know. I didn't care. So that book past that. SmackDown, like you said, consistently shows us that they can give us the best storylines if they want to. It also solidifies a lot of wrestling fans' thought process that whatever Paul Heyman touches, for the most part, turns to gold when it comes to how he wants to have storylines, how he builds and creates stars. So
Elvis, I will block your ass if you show if you ever said
Elvis just trolling. So
Elvis is drunk. He's always drunk.
So here's what I really loved about it, right? They gave me, like, once again, right? What do I look for in a wrestling show? See, this was better than Dynamite this week because Dynamite was more geared towards building towards the go home show. So there was a lot of angles and stuff in there, but it was mostly just trying to get you with the story, right? But SmackDown was setting up for Madison Square Garden next week. And there's going to be some big time things happening. We got Bianca and Becky contract signing, so I expect the table to be flipped. By the way, with the exception, this is going to be her fourth horsewoman that she's going to go through. Now, she wasn't able to overcome Charlotte, but that was just a situation because she was a third wheel in that feud between her and Rhea. But she has went through every one of the four horsewomen, and she on the last one she's got to beat for real in a real match is going to be Charlotte. That's the last one she has to go through. So they already are showing us that they have tremendous faith in Bianca Belair because they're putting her against their best woman now. So yeah, they had to do the thing with Carmella and and Zelina Vega, who is an idiot for going back to the company. You're dumb, but okay, if you're trying to get the bag. I ain't gonna knock you for it, but you're still dumb from a creative standpoint. But they had those. But every major feud has been with a horsewoman, so I appreciate them showing that much faith in Bianca. You were still stupid for doing her like that.
Even Nikki Bella said
that Nikki Bella can't wrestle.
First of all, watch your goddamn mouth.
Hey, she can't wrestle. Oh, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Her sister really can't wrestle. She actually took the time to get better. So
Bree can wrestle too. Bree can wrestle too.
Bremo can wrestle?
Bremo can wrestle too.
Yeah, maybe like Eva Marie. No, actually, she's way better than Eva Marie. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry. Like that, she's better.
But you dare disrespect Daniel Bella's wife like that.
Sorry, Daniel Bella. I apologize. But here's what I like about the Roman Reigns match, because this is the thing that tied the whole show together, right? Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins, even though they beat down Cesaro, they could have did it to somebody else, but okay, they beat down Cesaro again. That's going to be good for next week. The Roman Reigns brought back his kick out. And I popped so hard when he did it. It was 1, 2, low blow. Oh, no, he kicked out. But he also hit the guy in the nuts. Like, did you not see? No, I didn't see that. So, and then to finish that off with the Demon Finn Balor, I like it. Now, look. So far, the Demon Finn Balor has been extra protected. And every single time that he's been in that paint, he has never lost. The only guy who I'm okay with beating the Demon Finn Balor is this Roman Reigns. He's the only one I'm okay with. But I'm also okay with the Demon Finn Balor beating this Roman Reigns too, so that Roman Reigns can go ahead and, get extra mad. But that Demon Finn Balor can't come. He can't come until after the Saudi show. He can't come until after the Saudi show. I don't want to see that Demon Finn Balor get beat to build Roman to Brock Lesnar. He doesn't need that.
Well, hoping the Saudi show I think is going to be Lesnar and Brock. That's the consistency.
It's got to be Lesnar and Roman
going around because of the bullshit going back over there to Saudi Arabia. Which, again, why certain fans? Here's my thing about even fans that hated that.
Yeah,
stop being like America. Please do me a favor. Stop acting like you have the right to comment on every fucking thing. If I put a post up of me eating a chicken wing, it's not for you to say that's a small wing. That wing looks nasty. Did you dip it? Did you put hot sauce on it? Where'd that wing come from? That's
you represent this black stereotypes. What? I'm just eating a chicken wing. Leave me alone.
I never posted a picture like that. I did post a picture at the time at the Popeyes with the belt in New Orleans. That picture was pretty fucking fire. Yeah. But overall, I'm just saying, like, it's them going to Saudi Arabia. What the fuck do you care?
Oh, no, I can tell you, Mike. I can tell you why I care, Mike. Because the government that ain't got nothing to do with my government and what the government was doing to me went on ahead and went after one of their citizens that they didn't like. Because for some odd reason, it's my business what other countries do. And then we be wondering why we be stuck in wars for 20 daggone years. They ain't got nothing to do with us.
Well, where's my damn 40 acres and an Escalade?
Sorry, my bad.
Where's my 40 acres and an Escalade? I've been waiting for my 40 acres and an Escalade. Do you hear
I don't
me?
want an Escalade. Give me a Ford F-150. Give me a Ford F-150.
Crying and complaining.
I'm just saying. By the way, Mike, Mike. But you know the kind of people that are doing the most arguing aren't people that look like us, right? I'm just saying what it is. It's the truth. I'm just saying what it is.
Overall, stop the bitching and complaining and enjoy it or don't enjoy it. I don't give a fuck if they go to Timbuktu or Tupelo, Mississippi.
I have a moral objection to them going and getting paid to do a show for a regime that I would never actually go over there and fight myself.
See my watch? I'm gonna see if I can bring my watch to the screen. Can you see it? Probably not with my background.
That's a nice watch.
This man just texted me and said, "Damn, I over fucking slept." Can everybody in the chat put a fuck you dice? Please put a fuck you dice in the chat.
Dice, go bless yourself.
Go bless yourself. I know you won't do it, and I know King Vol won't do it because y'all my church people, and I love you for it. But the rest of y'all who ain't so you heathens like me, go ahead and tell it.
You heathens.
You heathens. You think Roman can beat Brock 1-on-1 without the help of his brothers?
Yes,
Roman Reigns can beat anybody 1-on-1.
The babyface Roman did it. So it was like this. Look. Roman.
Right, I was there when Roman beat him in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, yeah. Hey, look. Hey, Dice. Even Elvis said, "Fuck you." Okay. The difference between WWE, AEW is WWE's micromanage and more in their style. Listen, that is the biggest problem in wrestling in general. That is the biggest problem in general is that somebody asked last night or somebody said something about can they put a match on? They couldn't. I think it was Scott said WWE can never put a match on like this, and I said they actually could.
No,
he responded. He retended and said, "You're right." You know
they could, and they have. They just
won't any longer, right?
Yeah,
and that's the problem with the company. That's why they've lost fans. Let's keep it real.
But somehow they lost fans, but they still keep on increasing revenue. So I'm trying
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out where the money
because they keep selling off assets like they're fucking Michael Jackson.
No, before they were selling off assets and releasing talent. What I'm saying is that they were increasing in their revenue steadily. Even before the Fox contract, they kept increasing their revenue. And I'm trying to figure out, how does a product become so stale? How does a product become so redundant? How do you have 30 to 40% of your matches and your combat in your situation be rematches of the same people all the time, yet you're increasing revenue? And this is before all the stuff.
I don't know how. Wrestle again at all.
No, Sting don't need to be.
Sting can do what I thought Bret Hart could do. I mean, not Bret Hart, Undertaker could do, and that was if you stay with the cinematic universe matches.
Yeah,
that WWE created that they did really good with Darby Allen and him versus Team Taz.
Yep, that was fantastic.
Then Sting.
I don't want him to keep on taking bumps. I don't really want to.
Told you why he's back, and that's why I love what they're doing. Here's the thing that I've always said about professional wrestling having legends versus newer guys.
Yeah.
Legends and established guys, their job is to get younger people over, right? Not have the younger talent always win, because that's not going to get you over. Getting you over is the storyline. Them helping them push those guys who can't quite do what Carmella does very well, and that's tell a story and then get them over. And the fact that Punk and Bryan has openly on the microphone has said, he didn't mention those things. He said those guys in the back, the Hangman Pages, the Darby Allens. I want to see if I still got it.
Yeah,
that's what they're there for. Daniel Bryan doesn't have to prove a damn thing. CM Punk doesn't have to prove a damn thing. Their job now is their love for the business, to show they love the business by helping other talent over. Because there's a lot of talent in AEW that I'm not a fan of. Yeah. What's my man? I call him the fake-looking rock bull that's in Team Taz. My man Dice loves him. I think the boy is trash. I hate Hobbs. I hate Page. I'm not a fan of Jungle Boy outside of the fact that he's my man, aka Dylan McKay's son.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like Luchasaurus. Not a fan. He's growing on me.
Shout out
to my man Scott. He's growing on me, but I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of Darby Allen's at first because I didn't get the storyline.
Yeah.
I get it now. I didn't
Yeah.
like Orange Cassidy at first. Guys like Orange Cassidy, guys like Saban, those guys need the help of CM Punk, Daniel Bryan.
Would you even have cared about Orange Cassidy had he not had that feud with Jericho?
I don't think I would have.
See, and that is the goal. See, you take Jericho.
And I can definitely see that.
Yeah, so Jericho was doing it, and CM Punk's here to do it, Daniel Bryan's here to do it, and those are guys that can go a little bit better than Jericho can. So as Jericho's getting phased out, we have other guys who can come in and get these other guys over. The goal is have the names that to draw them in, and then say, hey, look, here's CM Punk. You love him. You know that WWE wrecked him, and now he's back to wrestling. Hey, you know who he's wrestling? This guy that you don't know that is a homegrown talent from AEW that we nourished from the indies, and we brought him along. So now you can go ahead and get excited about this guy. Darby Allen's stock rose up tremendously more because he wrestled CM Punk. Period.
It was funny. Y'all can't see the backstage chats, but King Von Jr. said,
that was funny.
I mentioned the Carmella line. He said, what story does she tell? A bedtime story? I put a sexy one. He put, okay, true that. Like, here's my thing. Like, when I openly support Carmella, I want to say this. I'm not ever saying Carmella's great in the ring.
No.
Because he's not.
She's got great personality,
but she has great personality. When you look at professional wrestling and they say, can you tell a story?
Mm-hmm.
Can you draw heat? We talked about Ruby Riott earlier. Ruby Soho, I'm sorry.
Wet blanket.
She doesn't draw no heat. No
Wet
fan
blanket.
favor or hate. Carmella, like it or not, if someone's clapping or booing you, that means you're over. If they're talking shit about you, that means you're over. Whether you like them, don't understand them, she keeps being put in front of your TV for a reason. I go back to why I cannot stand fickle wrestling fans. And we're going to leave on this note and say our goodbyes.
Facts.
I've never liked the fact that she won that Money in the Bank and wrestling fans that bitch and complain like it's their job to bitch and complain as opposed to it being their job to say I like it or I don't. They bitch and complain. Oh my God, they let James Ellsworth help a women win the first ever women's Money in the Bank match. Oh my God, what about women? What about women? What about women? What about women? It's about women. It's about the women's revolution. The women's rather this. The women's this. The first, second, and third times WWE's ever heard you. They came from Mick Foley. That came from Daniel Bryan. And that came from y'all bitching and complaining about Carmella winning the Money in the Bank with a man. They replayed it, and she still won.
There you go.
And then 5 years later, you complain about the women's revolution, but the number one woman in that company, not named Charlotte Flair, calls herself the man.
Why is she calling herself the man? We worked too hard. We worked too hard for this.
There's actually a transvestite woman male in professional wrestling. What happened to the women's revolution and women's rights if a man who tucks in between his legs and clucks is a woman? That's what she is. Just saying. I'm not saying I disagree or agree with it. I'm just saying wrestling fans who would not say it's okay for Carmella to get help from a man, but you can accept Nyla Rose. If it's about women, let it be about women. If it's about transvestites, let it be about transvestites. I don't care. Whatever you are is what you are. I can care less. My problem's not with the fact that she's a man or she's, was born a man. It's my problem with her is wrestling fans accepting her. When you wouldn't accept Carmella getting help from James Ellsworth. When you guys accept the fact that she calls herself the man in a women's world. That's my problem with wrestling fans. Fickle. That is it. That is all. Daniel Bella, your final thoughts on everything that took place this past week of Retro Wrestling and Super Black Gamer Bros, a.k.a. my brother Micah. Thank you for joining me today as Dice didn't wake up till a fucking hour ago.
Terrible. Go bless yourself.
Terrible.
So I want to end on this note right here, right? It's real good. I've only known one company for all my life, and that was WWF at the time. I had some WCW. I like what WCW was doing, and I watched a little Impact, but really, truly, all I really had was WWE. Now, I got so many things at my fingertips. There's so much creativity out there. I'm trying to tell you, Mike, you grew up during territory days, so you had this same level of variety and little different things you can pick from this buffet, this wrestling buffet. I am looking forward to getting filled up on. I'm going to toss Raw to the side for the most part, but everything else I'm going to really enjoy. And are we going to a live taping in 3 weeks? Are there tickets for the Capitol Wrestling Center in 3 weeks?
That's where you are, not me. You talking about NXT?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If that's even where it's going to be, I don't know.
That's true.
I'm on a new work schedule. I'm at the end of my training of that work schedule. So
Yeah.
a lot of things have been really hard for me because I'm working a 10 to 7 schedule, and I know they've been working a 7 to 3 schedule. Yeah. And that schedule comes back for me, even in my new position, right? How blessed have I been, right? That I get to still work a 7 to 3, 7 to 4. So even this Thursday is our debut show, or the re-debut of Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and Fox Sports Radio 1340 AM, Virginia, Hopewell, Virginia, that is. We're bringing back the Soul and Sports Football Edition on Thursday nights. I'll be a little late to the program. It will not start with your beautiful golden pipes of mine, because I will be about, even though, how about this? How cool is my job? I live 1.4 miles from my job. Right, so I'll be home by like 7:05, 7:07.
Yeah. Well
right?
done.
The show starts at 7, right?
It's
so
fine.
I'll be a little late getting here, but besides that, I mean, that's what it is, though. I love wrestling. Wrestling is my first love. How can I prove that? The first wrestler I ever paid attention to was Dusty Rhodes, right? The first heel I ever loved was Nikita Koloff. My favorite match still of all time outside of WWE is Tully Blanchard versus Dusty Rhodes, when Dusty Rhodes came in for the TV title at Great American Bash with Tully shaving it in his head because everybody knew Dusty was a brother. Okay? So my love is professional wrestling. It's not WWE. I love WWE, but I'm not in love with them. I understand the flaws. I've always understood their flaws. I'm just not Jaw. You know what I mean? I don't jump on bandwagons. I don't do TikTok dance videos. None of that shit. I'm me. Why do I stream? Why do I stream video game playing? Because motherfuckers pay to watch people play video games. I figure, hey, if not you, why not me?
Why not me?
So I stream. I'm not entertaining unless I'm talking wrestling or sports. Okay, when I'm playing a video game, I'm quiet as a damn little church mouse half the time. But the last month alone, I made like $40. It ain't much, but guess what? It's a meal out in the town with the wife. Well,
there you go.
Meal, that is.
That's a date night.
That's a little date night meal.
Date night.
But with that being said, man, your final thoughts. Where can they find Super Black Gamer Bros?
You want to go ahead and find me on everything. Pages on Facebook, IG, Twitter, Super Black Gamer Bros. I'm in the middle of doing some first-person shooters right now, playing some Xbox. So I'm not playing Madden, Mike. You're not going to sit here and dog me 4,500-0 in Madden. I refuse to get dogged out like that.
Now, hold on, my man Zombie. Don't you do me a favor and kiss my ass? Because that may be what's on YouTube, but I platform on every network. And as I tell everybody, won't you Google me, motherfucker? Because what you think you can do, what you think your people that you like to listen to can do, they still don't touch my motherfucking numbers. And you got me talking reckless because you a fucking dickhead. All right? 13 fucking years, pussy. I made this motherfucking shit. Belts, when niggas made fun of people having belts, I made that shit a fucking world now phenomenon, and there's a belt movement. Hashtag Belt Kings, okay? I built this shit, and I don't care about the things you give me, because whether you like it or don't like it, your punk ass is still listening anyway. Listen, go ahead with your rest of yourself, man. I can't stand that trolling ass pussy who got like 5 followers on you on something and trying to talk some shit to me. Please, homie, please get your weight up before you come at me, homie. Please.
Hey, but Mike, you know, I just got, you know, this wonderful set of 400 follower bots, and I built my audience from
my little bots. Fuck your bots.
Go bless
Get
yourself.
out of here, man. I got more beer to drink and some chicken to put on the grill.
Yeah, but anyway, SBG, Super Black Gamer Bros. Super Black Gamer Bros.
My bad.
You good.
I apologize. So, like, everyone, like, Elvis is one of my number one trollers, but Elvis is still, as much as he trolls or that's him, it's respectful. You know what I'm saying? I can respect somebody who's, if you don't agree, that's fine. We're going to disagree. That's life. But to come on somebody else's show and talk about what somebody else don't got, brother, I'm quite sure, as I just said, I'm a statement right there. Before there was any podcast you think existed, me. The first wrestler to have his own podcast was not Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a black man by the name of Ahmed Johnson. Have you heard of him? His show was on my network.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We broke the Kamala news. We broke the John Cena broke my arm news. We made Bleacher Reports over and over and over again from the Shag Gaspar interviews. Boy, you better check my fucking resume before you come at me again. Matter of fact, in the words of Dice Man, don't come for me unless I call for you. And I don't think I got your number.
And look, and here's the best part. I don't need to say anything else because you might as well go ahead and sign off. That's all that needs to be said.
That being said, listen, thank you guys for tuning into this special Labor Day edition of Around the Blocks of Mike Knoxxx. Make sure you go to Dicey's page and say, hey, Dice Man, fuck you for not showing up on time today. And as I love to say every day, and I mean this with my heart, I thank you all. The like, the love, the hate, the indifferent. I really don't care. Comment below. Let me know. I'm going to move on because I got a beautiful wife and children, and he above me loves me. And if it doesn't matter what you like. So, hey, with that being said, do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me. And don't love God. We out of here, y'all. And do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, Charlotte Flair is not the greatest wrestler of all time.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. There's the $1 million man always in his way. $1 million man.
Yeah. It's like the illest posse cut right here, man. Sean Watts on the track. Zeus. Don One. Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that'll be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't get treated like Virgil. Cause